like a thread about what is the most annoying thing that people do. Every single time that thread comes up, which is like once a week on Ask Reddit, it never fails. Somebody in there is saying something about people who chew with their mouth open. And I mean, I will admit that I used to think that way too. But ever since I started listening to ASMR, I just I can't get enough of it. I mean, there's like mukbang videos out there of people eating stuff, and it kind of blows my mind really that that's a thing. But I actually made a mukbang video myself, but I never uploaded it. But I have it on my computer. I'm eating a Chipotle burrito, and it's pretty spicy. The thing is, like when I chew food, there's a very unique sound to it, and I noticed this because it sounds the same as when my mom chewed food. Sorry about my voice screaming out in the middle of the word chewed there just now. But yeah, and I think the reason for that is because she and I both have false teeth. I never noticed this sound coming from myself when I would chew until I got the false teeth. So there must be a certain aspect to false teeth that comes with when there's something about the way the food moves through your mouth that creates that sound. This sort of, I really don't know how to describe it. It's like a mealy sort of grinding. It's like that sort of, but worse or better, such as the case may be. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a pee bag out of this cave. I normally don't go for this pee bag, but I'm trying to get as many experience points as I can so I can set up for the, like, I'd like to get the 2000 and then maybe get the next one after it from the statue, but that's gonna require me to not only get the 2000, but to get the 7 and 800 to skip out on the magic and life to open up for that next exact level. That's gonna be close, because, I mean, the second palace is actually pretty good for gaining experience. There's a lot of monsters in there, a lot of good stuff that gives a lot of good experience. So, here's hoping, right? Man, it is astounding how much quieter it is when that AC is off. We just had to get a new AC because the upstairs AC broke. Like, apparently there's separate ACs for upstairs and down. I don't really know because I don't really technically own this house. Like, my friend owns it. I'm just kind of living with him and we're just splitting the bills, so. But yeah, so, yeah, but I was kind of surprised when he bought that new AC because that thing was pretty pricey. I didn't realize ACs would cost that much. Like, you could seriously get a really nice car for the amount of money you paid for that AC. But yeah. So, anyway. So we're in Palace 2 now. So, right now, I have the fairy spell. Wait, did that come through? I don't know. I said, right now, I have the fairy spell. I picked it up in the town, whatever that dock town is called, on the ocean. Sorry about that, that was the sound of the door opening. Like, the security system goes off when you open the door. Anyway, I picked up the fairy spell there, and you can use the fairy spell in this game to fly through locked doors if you don't have a key. Now, the first couple of keys that you get in this dungeon, you kind of have to go a little bit out of your way to get them. So you can circumvent that by using the fairy spell to fly through the locked doors instead. But if you do that, chances are you're going to use up your magic real fast because the fairy spell is pretty expensive early in the game. It's not as expensive as life, but it's still just enough that it'll get in your way. If you try to use it too much and there's too many other things that you might need magic for, like, for example, refilling your life. These blue skeletons them if you're in a narrow hallway like this, where there's blocks above your head so they can't jump over you. But that's a pretty unusual situation there, so. Anyway, I haven't done much of my usual smacking, like, you know. I like doing that, I like hearing people do it, but at the same time, now that I have, like, a few subscribers, now I'm all self-conscious about it. Like, I should just continue to do this as though nobody were listening, because I have this quote that I said on one of my diary tapes, and that quote is, "Other people ruin me," which basically means that I don't like who I am when I'm around other people. I don't like how I put on this cheery exterior. I mean, there are times when I really am cheery, and that's fine, but, like, I don't get mad. I am incapable of getting mad around other people. And it's because I'm scared of losing them, or I'm scared of scaring them. Because that's kind of what my dad did to me. Like, when I was a kid, he was always getting mad about stuff, you know. I remember, like, this one day, I was trying to put on my socks, and he was sitting next to me, and he was like, he just had this certain tone that he would take, where you could tell he was disappointed in you or something, like he was, like, irritated or something, I guess, but he was irritated because I wasn't putting on my socks right, or something, I don't know. And the worst part was, we were dressing up to go to church, and it's like, so there's nothing worse than when you try to dress up, look nice, and then you have someone telling you that you just don't know how to do it. You know, that your shirt is not tucked in right, or whatever, you know, it just doesn't look right, you know, is what he would say sometimes. It doesn't look right. And I'm like, I don't know, what else am I supposed to do, you know? Am I just ugly or something? I don't know. It's like you think these things because you don't really know. But yeah, there it is. That's our next attack level. Now we just have to get through the 700 and the 800. Well, when we finish the 700, it'll just go on to 800. I hope that cat in the background is not too loud. I can hear him all the way up here. He's like downstairs. He's very loud. He's such a sweet kitty though. I really do like him. He's 19 years old. And he's got a kidney failure, so he takes medication for it, but did I already talk about this in another video? I think maybe I did. I don't know. Man, yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of why I don't like to get mad around people, because I don't want to make them uncomfortable in the same way that he made me uncomfortable. I just don't wish that on anybody. Even though it's such a small thing, you know, I don't have expectations. And, like, I don't expect things from people, because I don't want to burden them with it. Like, they already have so much going on in their lives as it is. You know, like, I don't ask people to be on videos with me, even though I totally could, and I'm sure they'd be happy for me to ask them, but so maybe I should do that more, I guess, because that's not really an expectation, that's just an invitation. There's a huge difference there. But yeah, like, I just don't, yeah, like, I'm not just, maybe I'm way too wishy-washy or way too understanding for my own good, but I just don't see the point in stressing about things. Like if there's something that irritates you, then just think about it, or take some time out to really think about how much this means, or like how much is this really making your life worse, or, you know. I have to tell myself, because there are some days when I get irritated, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know what it is. Like, and it's nobody's fault, that's the thing. It's not anything that anybody is doing. It's just this feeling. But I don't want to make that somebody else's problem, I guess. I don't know. So, like, if I ever did get a girlfriend one day, it's like, I can't imagine what it would be like if we started to run into problems, because I wouldn't know how to argue. Like, I know how to argue, but I don't know if I could do it, you know. I'm sure I probably could. There have been, like, maybe 3 or 4 times in my life that I've actually remember them vividly because of how rarely I do it. Like, I'm 40-something years old here, and I've done it like maybe 3 or 4 times. There was one time my stepfather, sometimes he would just come home and he would be all pissed off about something and talking about how he was gonna kill his boss, and he would be saying stuff like this all the time. There's 700. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna make 800, no problem. And next 3,000. Ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be some good shit right there. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, my stepfather would just come home and he'd be so mad all the time, and I just got sick of it. You know, I got sick of listening to it. I got sick of, you know, being around that. You know, and it's like I mean, I believe that people should have the right to free speech in this world and all that. But I also think that some people just need to be more considerate about how their actions affect other people, and how that, just the vibe that they put in the room just by acting like that, just by being so angry all the time. It's just, even if it's not all the time, still, if it's enough, and if it's intense enough, it destroys the mood for me for several hours, maybe even the rest of the day. So this one day he was doing that, and I was in the kitchen, like I wasn't at the table, I wasn't looking at him in the face because I can't really do that. That's a whole other can of worms I don't want to get into right now, but I was in a different room, but I was speaking loud enough they could hear me, and I just said something like, I don't even remember what I said. I just remember saying something like, well, why don't you just blah 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 if it's such a big deal or whatever, I don't know. And it shut him up, but the instant I said it, I felt extremely bad because now I was the one who was angry. Now I was the one who ruined the vibe in the room. You know, now nobody else wanted to talk, everybody was uncomfortable, and that's why I don't want to do that. That's why I don't get mad, because I can't be that. I don't want to be that in someone else's life. I can't do that. This other time, I was in my early 20s. I was still living with my mom and stepdad, so yeah. And they had been taking money out of my paychecks, which is fine because, like, I was 20, I should be paying rent, right? So like, they were doing that, but then it just got to the point where they kept wanting more and more, and I was barely giving anything out for myself, and I wasn't able to save up anything. And in the rare event that I could save something up, I would always end up having to give it to them because they needed to fix the car or something like that. And I can't believe I'm doing one of these stories, man. I'm not talking about the game at all. Jeez Louise. It's making me play well, though, I'll tell you that. Yeah, but so yeah, I was living with them, but I wasn't able to save anything up. I'd been working this job for like about 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and I just wasn't able to save anything up. And then eventually I made some friends, and we started hanging out a lot, and we got to a point where we decided we wanted to try to live together, you know, to get out into the world and be adults and live on our own and just see what that was like. And I was excited about that. I was nervous, but I was also excited. And so, but